Friends, this is FirearmPop, and this is another edition of my Armed Citizen Stories. Now, what I've decided to do this time, a little different than times before, is to do some gun porn for you rather than looking at my ugly mug while I read these stories. So, anyway, here we go. Stories are coming right out of a vintage American Rifleman. This is from November 2007. And stories are as relevant today as they were then. And once again, I'm reading these for the first time. So, Armed Citizen Stories from the American Rifleman. Panicked residents reported a man running through their yard as police chased a county jail escapee through several neighborhoods in Manchetta, California. That is, until the suspect jumped the fence and entered the yard of a citizen armed with more than a telephone. The citizen, an NRA member, Richard Soares, heard his dog barking and retrieved a firearm to investigate. He encountered the suspect, who claimed to be jumping fences for a school project. Soares ordered the suspect to the ground, where he was apprehended without further incident. And that happened in Manchetta, California. According to authorities, a homeowner in a gated community was awakened by noises and, to his horror, found an intruder choking his wife. The homeowner quickly ran for his gun and returned to discover two additional intruders. The men, at least one of them armed with a gun, held the homeowner's wife hostage and demanded cash and jewelry. Fearing his wife would be killed, the homeowner opened fire and at least one of the intruders shot back. The suspects fled. Two were sought by police. One died in the backyard. And that happened in Las Vegas, Nevada. Nathaniel Evans was leaving for work when two men confronted him with a gun and ordered him back inside. The men threatened Evans with another occupant, Evans' girlfriend. The suspects kept yelling, "Where is it?" said Sheriff Greg Champagne. When they couldn't find what they were looking for, they shot Evans. That's when Evans' girlfriend, who'd been ordered into the bedroom and forced to the floor with her 5-year-old child, came out firing a .40 caliber pistol. One suspect died at the scene. The other was found nearby and will be charged with his release from the hospital. Evans is expected to recover. And that was in New Orleans, Louisiana. Edward Franklin was unloading his vehicle when a young man accosted him with a gun and demanded money. Franklin instinctively knocked the gun's muzzle away and ran into the house, where he retrieved the firearm. Franklin's assailant followed him inside. He told Franklin he wasn't afraid to die. Columbus, Georgia Police Lieutenant Mark D. Starling said he pointed his weapon at Mr. Franklin, at which point Mr. Franklin shot him. The suspect will face charges after his release from the hospital, and that was in Columbus, Georgia. Having had his home burglarized 3 times in a week, 85-year-old Alton Tillman was tired of being victimized. So the next morning he left home at his normal time, but quietly returned. Once inside, he found signs of a burglary in progress. Even more disturbing, according to police, 2 feet were sticking out from below his bed. Tillman ordered the intruder to come out and call 911. He kept a handgun trained on the burglar until the police arrived. Several of Tillman's missing items were found in the suspect's home a block away. And that was reported by the Associated Press. No location given, but hats off to 85-year-old Alton Tillman. Way to go, brother. A concealed carry permit holder left the restaurant and stopped for a red light, according to police. That's when an attempted carjacker stuck a knife in the window and demanded the car. The victim pulled out his handgun, and he last saw the suspect running, said Warren Police Detective Sergeant Michael Torrey. And that was in Mount Clemens, Minneapolis. "Check this out, fool," announced a masked intruder as he burst through the door of Alan Van Arsdale's antique shop. But police said Van Arsdale, a 46-year-old rock collector, was not about to comply. He dropped to a knee, drew a .45 Colt revolver, and fired a shot, missing the bandit by inches but causing him to flee. Whatever drugs he's doing altered his brain chemistry, and he did something he probably didn't want to do. Van Arsdale said, "When somebody points a gun at me, it alters my brain chemistry and makes me do things I don't normally do." And that was in Salt Lake City, Utah. Amen to these, brother. Great stories, again, as relevant today. People just standing up and protecting themselves and their property and their loved ones. So, hope you enjoyed these stories. This is FirearmPop. You be safe out there, and God bless. Bye now.